You want to stop smoking, and I'm telling you it's very difficult. Today is day 3 and I have officially decided 3 days ago to stop smoking. Why? It's the fact that Stock syndrome. I saw in the newspapers that the Ceylon Tobacco Company is paying 65 million in taxes to the government for the sale of their tobacco. The price increased from rupees 35 a cigarette to rupees 42 a cigarette. That's 7 rupees extra. And the vendors in the cigarette shop get 2,500 rupees for each bundle that they sell. And how they get it is they get it as one extra bundle of 10 cigarettes or 10 packets of cigarettes. So they are profiting off you. The government profits off you in taxes. Now the reason why I kept this here is because, as you notice, I've not smoked all my cigarettes down to the butt. And I always smoke filtered cigarettes. Problems that I'm having. Like, I don't believe in asking him to give me a lottery. Maybe I should. Everybody who came here didn't really notice the smell of the cigarettes because the fact that it's well ventilated. I went around picking up all the workman's BDs from the floor, which is a small version of an Indian cigarette which is rolled tobacco. And I picked it up from the drains, from the systems, and from the toilets, and from behind the toilets, and from between the weeds, and from the garden, and what have you. And I got very irritated, and then suddenly it dawned on me, I might be causing irritation to somebody else with my habits, but I don't throw my cigarette butts everywhere. I have my particular places. In Australia, you can't throw them on the roads. That's dead against the law. If you're caught, you're fined. In Sri Lanka, you can throw your cigarettes everywhere because the fact that basically it's a piggish place. People are not particularly worried about the roads. They're not worried about the gardens. They're not worried about the country. They're not worried about anything. And they dispose of it wherever. So, after picking up the BDs, I thought to myself, geez, these guys are absolute pigs. And then I thought to myself, ooh, I could be a pig too, without knowing it, because I don't have a place to put my cigarette butts, do I? Unless you have your own little container and then you take it home with you. Right, you can smoke in your own car, but now that's not allowed in Sri Lanka because you've got hands off the wheel. And if you have your cigarette dangling on your lip, it is more than likely that you're going to drop it on your thigh, on your crotch, and set fire to yourself. Has that happened to you? Hasn't happened to me. I did have an accident, but I wasn't smoking. I was looking for my cigarettes that I normally keep on the front dashboard because I was going to pull over and have a smoke in the midst of driving. That's how desperate you get. It's desperate because you've got a habit, it's nothing else. Because I found, after I started this habit of trying to stop smoking, which has been for the last God knows how many years, and I gave it up for the baby, 3 months. And as soon as I stopped breastfeeding, I got back on the cigarettes again. I gave it up for 9 months. No, I took the cigarette and I was smoking only quarter of it for a puff. Must have smoked the cigarette, but at that time I was not addicted. The addiction started when I came to candy, more so. Well, you can't say that you're not addicted because you've been smoking it for quite some time and it's pretty tough work trying to give it up. This is my house and home. The biggest place where I smoke is here, at the computer. Sitting and doing sweet bugger all. Making posts on Facebook, listening to my music, doing my edits, or what have you. And that's in the evenings, when you could do something else. Your hand is idle even though your mind is not. So what triggers it? You're relaxing after a hard and strenuous day of supervising workmen. Causes for irritation. Bad workmanship, worry. I'm telling you, water doesn't come into your aquafare at the back, and you're worried about the next drop of water that's coming into your property. That causes stress. So what do? You reach for the cigarette because of the fact that might be a cure. It isn't. And I have this chesty cough. So after I got a shock about the tobacco company giving 60 billion to the government to stop, because I don't want to be paying them anything because I'm one of the poor people in this country, But I've got a big house. I work for it. When I get money, I teach English. I get money, I pay. The students can cause you hypertension. But I don't scream and shout. So instead of screaming and shouting at them and getting angry, I take it out on myself. I started 3 days ago, alright? Whether I will continue with it, I do not know. But I must tell you that from 20 cigarettes a day, yesterday, I came down to 10. Today, I have come down to the balance 10 in a 20 pack. And that was at about 8 o'clock this morning. And I haven't eaten I haven't smoked a cigarette from that time, and I'm holding this cigarette, which is half lit, just in case, But I don't have any other packets of cigarettes in my house. I say keep one, because you know that you're not going to be able to do it unless you really try. Now this is called the betel leaf. It has got an acrid flavor, and it does not cause cancer. I will give a moment just busy talking to you while I'm contemplating having my half a cigarette, because it's real hard, chum. All this talk about find the purpose, find the reason, or what have you, it's just a bad habit that you have to kick. It's like a womanizer. A man who goes after a skirt cannot get the fantasy and the chase of his mind. It's that cigarette, same thing. But this leaf, called the betel leaf, has got a very acrid taste. It's a choice of this, or it's a choice of this. So I'm going to try this. I've been eating it for the last 3 days. It's cheaper than a cigarette. And what it does is, it coats your tongue with its acridity. It has got very good benefits, supposedly. Good for the stomach, good for the cough, good for the cold. And you will find that you get a cough, and you get burst cough. And you find that because it's not depriving the body of tobacco. And now, if you eat this, what it does is it successfully coats your tongue. So then you successfully takes off the taste of tobacco. Takes off the taste on your taste buds. It just deprives you of any sense of sensation on your tongue. I want to stop because the fact that you don't get the taste of tobacco. Simple. Now, I tried that, and from day one, the first day was absolute hell, I'm telling you. But if you think that from 20 cigarettes in one day, I was able to reduce it to 10 cigarettes. Balance 10 cigarettes in a packet of 20 was overnight. From let's say 9 o'clock in the evening, I went to bed at about 12, which means I smoked 3 cigarettes from 9 to 12, midnight. Then I went to bed at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I woke up at 9 o'clock today. I finished the balance cigarettes. I don't have another packet in the house. I told you keep 1 packet of cigarettes because of the fact that you know that you're not going to be able to do it the first day. Or you can. Cold turkey. Say, no, I'm not smoking. Say that you're going to give up. Say this, say that, say whatever it is. They say take away the causes of stress. What are the causes of stress? You're going to have a very cool and clear attitude that nothing in life is ever going to bother you. You get into your car, some idiot comes and beefs you or overtakes you. That's irritation. What do? If you're not allowed to smoke in the car, you draw away and you have a puff. Because tobacco is a carminative. But so is supposedly betel juice. Don't take the stuff with the shunan, the fact that that causes cancer, the mixing of erica nut and betel nut. It's not really betel nut, but the betel leaf is a genuine deterrent. If you can get an alternative, like a coriander leaf, or some people say even chew on coriander seed, fennel seed. Fennel seed is bitter. You can chew on a cinnamon stick. I've got all these things which are cooking items, but some of them can be eaten raw. Example, cloves, cardamoms. Gives you a sweet smell in the mouth, keeps your mouth occupied, other than talking on the video. You're going to have a hard time, chum, but I'm telling you that if I can do it. And while you're doing this, try and increase your water intake, because I notice that I'm smoking a cigarette and I don't worry about water anymore. So even though I'm parched, I reach for a cigarette instead of reaching for a glass of water. So if you don't like water, you took some lemon juice, and you can put some lemon juice into your water and have a lemon drink. The more acrid it is to your tongue, the better, because then you will kill the taste buds that crave for tobacco. Now, my last cigarette this morning was around, let's say, 10 o'clock, and I have not had a cigarette since then. And I'm not going to say that I'm not going to have one now, because I've been sort of like toying with the idea of getting the man to bring me a packet. But it cost me 200 rupees from the junction, plus another 1,400 rupees for, or number 800 rupees for another packet of cigarettes. Do I have anything more worthwhile to do with that money? Not really, you see. I'm altruistic. I contribute to the dog's home. I give them 5,000 rupees a month, and what they do with it and whether they need it or not, I don't care. But I made a commitment, and I'm doing that. Deprive yourself to stop cigarettes? Not necessarily so. That is bunkum. What you got to do is be occupied, and your hands occupied, and your mind occupied. Chewing the betel leaf, I'm telling you, what I eat also is not going to taste good. Better this. And also you might find that you like to have a cigarette first thing in the morning. As soon as you get out of bed, it's the loo cigarette. What you do is you try and avoid that, because if you avoid that, you can avoid one for several hours after that. And you might find that you might think that you're constipated because of the fact that you don't have as good a movement when you're not smoking a cigarette. But that's also a habit, I'm telling you. If you've got constipation because of something else, you can take any fruits and vegetables like papaya. And I'm not a medical person, so I'm going to tell you about the good things to take and the bad things to take, and that to cure your lungs, and that's something going to cure you. You know that the betel leaf is not dangerous to your body. It doesn't cause you cancer. But you can look at these other web posts. They've got some good suggestions and all about mental therapy and all. I'm not into mental therapy. A person who wants to survive, if I can, and I don't think that cigarette is going to kill me, because you're going to get killed in any case. It's got a very practical approach to life. But some of the habits that we cause, genetic, can cause us to have a problem, because the fact that if we are already people who are asthmatic, you go and add to it by smoking a cigarette, you get a worse attack. You can't breathe. They talk about emphysema. Yes, it is all true. I'm not saying that, but they say it's all not true. Everything is true. People get emphysema, people get cancer of the lungs, people get cancer of the throat. I have got a hiatus hernia. It could be because of the fact that I neglect my food. Also because of the fact that when I smoke, my throat is dry. Probably because of the fact that I have not neglected my water for the whole day. I mean, now 12 o'clock lunchtime, you see. Once you eat this, what do? You reach for a cigarette, correct? Because you like to know that you've had a good meal, and it's sort of part and parcel that you have something to drink, something to smoke after you've had your lunch. Now, like some people reach for sugar. You say, let's have a sweet because we've just finished lunch. And now that's another habit, because they are diabetic and they are not supposed to be having sugar. But what they do is sugar, because the fact that that is part of their weakness. They want something sweet after lunch. And they don't realize that something sweet is an indication that you've got something wrong with you. People don't realize that, you know. They want their sugar. You're a smoker of cigarettes, right? You suffer from hiatus hernia, even though you don't smoke. People always tell you, oh, you might as well smoke because you're going to die in any case. That's a good attitude, actually. Yeah, because you're going to die in any case. Maybe I'm a selfish person because I do everything free. I don't want to be giving the government taxes on one of my pleasures or hobbies, because none of my pleasures or hobbies is anybody a tax. It doesn't even give me an income. Like say this YouTube video, for instance. I find that I smoke because I'm bored. Because when I'm stressed and when I'm high stressed, and I've got this whole place created here, you know, screaming and shouting at workmen, getting all these odd jobs done, things that women don't do, creating cupboards and insets and pan racks, and ending part 1 of addiction. And I have not had lunch or breakfast, and it's now 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm going to have lunch now, but I'm going to call a break. Maybe I'll make it the next video, which is part 2 about addiction. I went to the pictures with women because the fact that is also an addiction. The smell of them, the taste of them, there's no control over it. You can control it. I always said also hump your wife, you know, instead of being unfaithful to her. I know it's a dead ball, but the problem is that at least it'll save you from getting diseases. And also there are women in plenty, but they will take you for a merry chase. I'm not one who does. I'm not interested in men. I'm not interested in women. I love children. I will not abuse them. Part 1. If you like my videos, please subscribe. As everybody says, I don't ask often. I've done the whole series of Jesus and Muhammad, and I've not even asked for a like. It doesn't matter. I'm just conveying a message to you. But I certainly would like my subscribers so that I'll be able to get my URL shortened. That's all I have to say, my dear. It's all in your hands. Use whatever you can to stop an addiction. There are women who have addictions for men. There are men who have addictions for women. They've got all addiction, addictive substances, which means that you've got no self-control. That might, whatever in excess, will cause you trouble. And I'm telling you that for one, God is giving me water, because I've had no water in this land and I've been worried. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Listen to part 2. It covers the other things as well. If you don't want to listen to part 2, it doesn't worry me. But if you think that this is a worthwhile thing, because I have given you examples straight from my lifestyle, what I do, what I have seen in my life. I'm 63 years old, and I'm telling you, it's been an experience, but I'm alive to take you. I'm alive for some reason. I'm able to do my English lessons with his tutor, and I'm a programmer by hobby. I'm a builder. I'm a musician. I seem to do everything. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. My pleasure. I hope it brought you pleasure to it. I hope it gave you some ideas on what you can do to control your impulses and your addictions, and Stay blessed, stay strong, because you have it in you to do it. But it's not an easy task, my dear. And I'm telling you, I know. Take care of yourself. Have fun. God bless. Eat things that you don't really like, and those you might find are very healthy. Anything to give up smoking. Thank you very much.